The title for the show, Regeneratrix, came from Maria Gimbutas. This Lithuanian archaeologist believed that there was a way to worship the idea of the divine feminine, the giver of life, the regenerator of life, right? And she dubbed them Regeneratrix. The work actually kind of runs across two threads. I believe are kind of things that we as humanity are really dealing with. The proliferation of war and climate change is another theme in this body of work. The work about war and conflict is partly because of my own background as a Ukrainian American artist. I was going through these archives and I came across this declassified military manual that taught US-based soldiers how to determine the casualties of a nuclear airburst over particular types of habitable regions. And I was really struck at how these maps were really beautiful, but ultimately they were talking about, death and destruction. I really was struck by these maps and I wanted to kind of co-opt this visual language and put back a kind of what I've been calling an empathetic gesture back into it as a way to speak about the life that ultimately it's showing. It's depicting death in this massive way, but it's all this life that it's actually showing. And so that was kind of how that body of work came about. And the kind of second thread of in the show is focusing more on what I would call environmental pieces, and they're really looking at the kind of the essence of our non-human kin or these entities that exist in the world, like water or fire. These entities should exist and have autonomy, so both connecting it to like indigenous practices and animist-based belief systems, as well as looking at contemporary science in ecology around Earth living systems. Even though it's largely symbolic, I think there's some precedent for understanding how to live in unity with things that we now see as commodity. So they're largely water-based ink and acrylic, and there's some charcoal and kind of dry pigments that I use, but also things like barnacles and raw mica. Little pieces of paper make it into the paintings, both as a way to embed a deeper meaning and specificity about a site that I'm talking about, but also as a way to kind of expand what can belong within a painting.